with eBay Addicts, and today I have a returning guest with me today. I have Johnny here from Kajun Roots Reseller. How are you doing today, Johnny?
I'm blessed. I'm great. Thank you for asking, and thank you for having me today.
Hey, well, thank you for coming on. I reached out to you a couple days ago on short notice, and I was like, hey, Johnny, you got to come and hang out with me on a Saturday or a Sunday. You got to come and talk to us and the people and join the chat and let everybody know your side of the story of what's going on. So real quick, just in case people don't know who you are, can you kind of introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them a little bit about what it is that you do.
All right. First of all, I'm Johnny. I'm also known as Kajun Roots Reseller. I'm born and raised out of Louisiana, but live in Massachusetts. Yes, I moved from the south to the north. On my channel, I have actually a lot of activity going on my channel. I do bingos on Monday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday through Friday, I do a morning coffee with Cajun, and it's more of a collaborating and networking where we basically answer questions from anybody who may have a question about eBay, YouTube, Amazon, anything that I can answer, I will. If anybody needs help with something, I'll go ahead and help them with that as well. I'll even pop up my screen, share my screen, and show step by step on how to get whatever the question may be. Every Wednesday, I do a 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time Hump Day auction. And then on every other Friday, I do what's called the TGIF Buy It Now Sell Auction. And that's every other Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. And so Johnny is a full-time reseller and a YouTuber. And we had an issue, I think it was last week or something like that. It was on a Friday, and you had an issue with your YouTube channel. And so I wanted to bring Johnny on. I wanted everybody to kind of him to be able to tell his side of the story of what happened. Because if you guys are content creators, this might be something you want to be aware of, because something like this could happen to you. And, you know, when I heard the news, I said, you know, I got to invite Johnny on, because if this happened to me and I was in a similar situation, Johnny would be the first person to reach out to me to try to lend a helping hand to help me out and other people in the community, because that's how he is.
Yep, that's true. Well, a week ago yesterday, I had did my normal morning live. It was 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Went through the whole show. It was basic comment questions kind of thing. And I want to say within an hour to an hour and a half into the morning show, I started getting bots and some trolls. Now, the bots and the trolls were actually automatically taken up and getting taken care of by Jennifer, as always. She's very quick on that. And so one thing I did not like was due to the fact that when a comment is deleted or removed, or someone is actually removed from your chat, their comment still goes up on StreamYard. Now, in this case, the people that were coming in as trolls were still saying hi, hello, Jennifer, calling people by names. And so you really don't think about it at that time. So when they were coming in, the main thing that I am telling this story, and I do have a video on I did a week ago today, and it's basically talking about what happened. And I'm bringing this out because some people, and I know for a fact, not only myself, will highlight comments in the chat. I do that because I want to acknowledge everyone who's taking their time to come into my chat, talk to us, be in the morning show with us, trying to wake up and have their morning coffee, try to keep everything positive. Well, in this particular situation, I had said, well, I better not highlight that comment. And I was like, oh, crap, I did. I had it lit on the screen. And then by the time I realized that it was too late, so I heard when I deleted it off the screen, and then I immediately went to my channel, took the video from public to private, and took it off of public immediately. And then after the show, I did pull it up, try to get the blurring out of it. And so by the time I was getting into that part of it, my whole channel disappeared. Everything disappeared on the screen. And so I do have two separate screens, and I have my email on the other one. And I noticed I had an email, and I went to the email, and sure enough, it said that my channel was terminated due to the sexual content and nudity. And the only thing I can think of was those emojis. Now, if you see in the chat, you can barely really tell what those emojis are. But when you enlarge them, depending on what mode in the StreamYard you're using, there will be either small all the way up to large. And I happen to have the medium-sized circles on. And so my thing is to tell people, be careful. I started using this thing where you can put your channel on 10 up to 20, or even customize your timing, that if somebody is not subbed to your channel, they cannot make a comment until they're subbed for that many minutes, no matter what it may be. And so with that being said, now that I went on ahead and it's like that Friday, I didn't say anything to anyone because I was very upset, ticked off, not knowing what to do, what was going to happen. And so, again, after 2 years, 3 months, 26 days, and 18 hours, it took me to get monetized the first go around. I didn't know what was going to happen when I lost my channel. So my thing is, I went ahead and got into my other email and started the new channel, Return of Kajun Roots, because I still wanted to bring the morning shows. I still wanted to bring everything I do during the week. And so that was a little bit of a process that does take up to 24 hours, but I had it immediately done by Sunday, back to normal on Monday until this is whatever may happen. I did do an appeal, trying to see what I can get done. I did go through the Twitter and YouTube, and we did a major request, hashtag Team YouTube. I don't know how well that's going to work, but again, I am fighting to get my channel back because it was a long process.
Yeah, guys. So I wanted to have Johnny on to give him kind of a platform to let everybody know of his personal situation and what happened to him, and let you guys know that, you know, it could be any one of us. So
Yeah.
if you're a YouTuber, or if you're someone like me that does a lot of live streams, I talked to Johnny. I don't know. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I sent you an email on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, Johnny, we should go and do this subscriber only mode where you can have it set up where if someone's not at least subscribed to your channel for, you know, a minute, 5-10 minutes or whatever, they can't comment on your videos. So that way it ought to lessen the people, because if someone wants to go by and be a troll and leave, you know, these comments on your channel, they're not going to wait around for 5 or 10 minutes to do so. So hopefully that's been working out a lot better for you. And that's why I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention, because this could happen to any one of us, especially if you're just going about your day, you're going about your routine, and all of a sudden you just have these trolls jump into your chat. Most of the time, I just either, you know, delete them or kick them out or remove them, or put them in timeout. I don't like to ban people from the channel, but I will like to put people in timeout if I see that they're acting out. But, you know, guys, this is something that I just wanted to bring up to help you guys out, just in case you're a YouTuber, or maybe you want to start a YouTube channel in the future, because Johnny puts out a lot of hours on YouTube, and I didn't feel like it was right or fair to what happened to his channel being deleted. But the thing I like about Johnny is once I let him cool off for a couple days, and he decided, you know what, I'm not going to throw the towel in and I'm not going to quit. I'm going to go and create a brand new channel from scratch and then start over. So that's what I like about, you know, Johnny, is he was just like, you know what, I don't agree with what happened to me. I feel like that I was wrong in the situation, but I'm not just going to sit here and give up, and I'm not going to pout about it and make excuses. And you went out and created a brand new channel, and you've been, you know, productive member in the community and on YouTube ever since. So let me say hello to a few people here in the chat, Johnny. I know you're used to being in the driver's seat, not the co-pilot seat, but let me say hello to a few people that's hanging out with us today on a Saturday. I wanted to give a shout out to Robert. Thank you for coming by and hanging out. He says, hello, everyone. I wanted to say hey to Harry Humpstone. I got part of your live stream the other day, Harry. Angie Resells is here. Says, good to see you, Johnny. And Pame is here in the chat. And I wanted to say hello to Zach is here, Utah Bought and Gone. So I hope you guys are doing well. So if you guys have questions for our guest, Johnny, go ahead and drop it in the chat and we'll get to it. I don't want to take the whole live stream just talking about YouTube, because Johnny actually is a full-time reseller. So I wanted to kind of pick his brain, and we're going to talk a little bit about how things are going with his reselling business. So tell me a little bit about how things have been going for you, Johnny, as far as your eBay business. And also I heard rumors that you started to sell on Amazon as well. So tell us a little bit about how your reselling business has been going.
I confirm, yes, I started on Amazon. Actually, yesterday, I listed 60 items on Amazon. I listed 38 items on eBay this morning, and it's still active. I'm still going strong with those. I also went to my antique booth today to close out my sales for the last month of December. I closed out strong with $397 of sales in my antique booth for the month of December.
Wow.
And constantly renewing and building up my storage of items to go into my antique booths. Today I went sourcing, and I bought more stuff for Amazon. I went on ahead and I love the scanning, because now when I go sourcing, it's scan Amazon first. If I'm gated, I'll go to eBay. But if it sells more on Amazon, that's where it's going. So now that I've been doing that, I basically scan both and see which one it would get the best return on from my investment. And so that's what I've been doing. And so I am over 4,800 items on eBay. And I forgot how many I'm on because I've been listing like crazy on Amazon. So yeah, it's been
Okay, awesome. So on Amazon, have you been doing merchant fulfilled or have you been doing Amazon fulfilled?
FBM.
FBA.
Yep.
Oh, FBM. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So what kind of items in particular have you been like? You have a certain niche, or tell people a little bit about what type of items it is that you look for to resell in where you're at. Because depending on where you live in the country, you know the items that you have available to you may be a little bit different.
Well, recently I just applied for and got a approval for a wholesale company through Hasbro, and I started selling Hasbro products on Amazon, which I got approved for because I was approved for my wholesale through a wholesale company. And I basically sell toys, Hasbro, and also books. Now, my Hasbro right now is trolls, like the troll dolls. That's where I've been specializing in on Amazon. That's my first item that I got ungated in because I had my wholesale invoice. And so now I'm venturing into Mattel and trying to get into another couple other companies as soon as I get my approval for these wholesale companies.
Okay, cool. Now, I wanted to touch on real quick about your antique booth that you have.
Mhm.
Do you mind telling our audience, because I get questions from time to time, and I don't actually have a booth where I'm at because I'm between me working my regular job and my resale business, and then shooting YouTube videos. I don't think I honestly have time to go through and restock the booth and put tags on stuff and clean it up and everything. So, if you can elaborate a little bit in case people have questions or maybe they're on the
Mhm.
fence and considering getting an antique booth, tell us kind of a little bit about what the overhead cost is to get a booth, like how much, like what is the size and dimensions of
Mhm.
it, what do they charge you a month, and how do they go about paying you out at the end of the month for your booth? I'm just curious.
Now, when someone asks me that and I'm in the chat or whatever, the biggest thing I tell everybody is go do your research first. There are different antique malls that will charge differently. Like, for
Right.
example, one where I'm at, the only thing I got to pay is my rent. Now, depending on the size of your booth, I started with just a basic bookshelf when I first started. That was $45 a month. I would go every week, every Friday or Saturday, or even Thursday, and I would go fill it up, see what sold, kind of like get an idea of what sold, and bring things more to fill it in because you want to be able to have a full booth. Now, if you're got, I have two now, but I just started with a small one. Then I went to two, and then I went to one bigger one, and then a glass case came available where it's lockable. So that's where I do more antique jewelry, things that are more expensive that I don't want it just to walk away. I do a lot of $5 type jewelry. It's very inexpensive, but I still put that in a lock and key because there's so many times that I go every week and I have empty cards, but the jewelry's gone. So again, some of those are okay because I didn't pay much for them, but you want to make sure that you look for things that you have to lock up, things that'll be easy to walk away, because that can eat up a lot in your inventory when it comes to your profits. For me, I have the two booths. One is strictly older, larger items. I have a total for both booths. I have $60 for the glass case, and I pay $145 for the larger booth. But the money that I just said I made, that's over my rent on both booths. So you want to make sure you try to pick one that has a lot. And what I did before I did go into the booth for antiquing, I would go in with every time a different day. If you have the at the time, go check and see each different day with different times what kind of traffic's going in and out of there. 9 times out of 10, the traffic will be more on the weekend than during the weekday.
Right.
Sometimes more in the morning than in the evening. So you want to kind of see what's best. And then the biggest thing is to pick a booth in your area that you want to go to and see if you can have to get on a waiting list, because a lot of places have waiting lists that you have to wait for. But if you do your homework, you'll know if you have an area that has high traffic. For example, say you want to get the high traffic that the area may be to heading to the restroom, and you know people are going to have to go that route. Try to get a booth within that area, or in the entry. If there's an open that comes in and then it branches off, and you have some shelves on the sides, try to get those because some people either go to the right or the left, and you want to be right in the front. So the biggest thing is to definitely do your homework, see what is working for you in that area, and see how much they charge. Because some places will charge you a percentage of your rent and a percentage of what you sell for the month. There's a set rent, and then they're gonna want a percentage of your sales. Some
Yeah.
places will charge you your rent, percentage of your sales, and a percentage that they charge for if somebody uses a credit card. So you definitely
Yeah.
want to check those out because every place is different. Some
Right.
places give you the cards to put on your items. Some tell you to use a certain type. They don't care, but it's always do the homework and research to see what they want and how they do it.
Yeah, well, I like the idea of having a booth because, I've seen some of these antique booth places where they're open 7 days a week. They have, think about it, if you were to open up your own brick and mortar location and you had to cover the water, the electric, the heating and air conditioning, had to pay for
Everything, yeah.
employees there, all of that, it would be really expensive. It'd be
Yeah.
way more than $200 a month. And like you said, above and beyond covering your rent for the month, you still profited about $400
Yeah.
that you profited above and beyond paying for that. And also, if you have bigger, bulkier items that you don't want to ship on eBay, you can just put them in your booth, put a price tag on it, let it ride. So,
Yeah.
what are some of the most, I'm not going to say popular, but what are some of the best selling products for you at your antique booth that you like to sell there? And what other advice would you give to somebody if they wanted to start an antique booth? Because usually we talk about eBay and Amazon, but since you have a booth and we get questions about it, we'll go ahead and talk about that real quick. Go ahead.
The first thing my biggest sales are old antique cameras and sewing machines. Now I do sell a lot of different vintage things that has to do with uh, extras like for sewing machines or oh, like I just sold an old box that was still brand new sealed of the old fashioned hair curlers that was still brand new in the box that was from the 50s. Things that are really old, I always try to keep things. And again, there are sometimes that you can't always get things that are brand new sealed, but again, those do have more of a better sell than those that are not. For me, I even sold this large ginger jar. It was given to me as a just have it, didn't want it anymore, so they gave it to me. And I sold, that was my biggest first item I sold, and it sold for $189. No one called me to make an offer. Now, if you want to be firm on your prices, some places make you put an F or a circle with an F or the word firm on your sticker, on your tag. For me, I don't leave nothing with a firm because anybody's welcome to call me for an offer. But so far, everything I've put in my booth when I put a price on it, that's what it's been selling for. And always be mindful of what you're putting in there. Some places I've gone to where they'll have a picture of a printout of what's going on eBay. But when you go to look it up, it's actually what's being asked, not what is being sold. So that's another misleading thing that people do in their booths is don't do that because anybody can go on eBay and search it. And for me, if somebody sees somebody's going to put a printout of an eBay, I'm going to look it up. And I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's going to be what the people are asking for it, not what it's sold for. So I leave it alone. And then be on the lookout for those boots that have sales. You can find a lot of sales in antique boots that you can buy and then turn around and flip it yourself because I've done it before. I bought something in the same booth I'm in, the same antique mall I'm in, and I turned around and sold it in my booth for double than what I paid for it. So don't be
For
afraid
sure.
to do that.
Well, yeah, if you just, you're already there at the antique booth anyways, you might as well go have a look around for 5, 10, 15 minutes and you have that eye and you can see stuff that's underpriced. So let me say hello here real quick to Zach is in the chat. He says, books are bread and butter on Amazon. Such good money. That's awesome that you do both eBay and Amazon. We had Ms. Ziri Loves Company. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. He says, what percentage of your sales do you reinvest into more inventory? And I wanted to say hello to Robert in the chat. Go ahead.
100%. All of it goes right back into the business.
Yeah. For me, I make enough money working my full-time job where I can pay all of my bills. So I take a very, really large majority of the money that I make and reinvest it back into my business. I got about 6,500 items active right now on eBay, and I'm trying to grow it and scale it to 10,000 items. And, so you have to have capital to grow it to get to that point. And, there's a lot of people that make a full-time income with eBay, and you just have to grow it and slowly reinvest capital back in your business. But yeah, like I said, I still have my full-time job that I pay all my bills with. So as much capital that I can reinvest, I'll do that. Just last week, I just bought 1,500 of like CDs that are new, sealed in the plastic, and I paid less than 50 cents a piece for them. And, you know, I'm going to try to turn around and sell them on eBay for 10, 15, $20 a piece, just depending on what they are. There's a little barcode here. You can scan them and look up the sold comps and all that. So I've been trying to buy stuff in big bulk lots, have it shipped to my house, and then, you know, chop them up individually and list them that way. So, hey, Robert, I know I've had you. I know I've had you on the channel before, Johnny. If you can kind of give us a brief synopsis of kind of how you got started into reselling, because so people, you know, we might have new subscribers or people that don't know you very well. So, kind of tell us a little bit of your background of how you got started into reselling, the reselling business.
Well, back in Louisiana, I had actually had 2 companies, and I've been in business for myself since 2005. Always worked for myself since then. I got tired of working for the man, not getting my paycheck. And so I went in business for myself. I had a cleaning company and a quilting company back in Louisiana. And Robert, which is in the chat, that's my husband, he got a job transfer. And of course, because of that, we had to move up here. And so my biggest thing was, what am I going to do? So we had to come up here and look for a house, and he had to be here before me anyway for work. And so why don't you watch some of these YouTube channels? It's like, okay. So what is this all about? And of course, it had to do with reselling. It's like, okay, well, I can do that. Because I already go to, I call it clearance. People call it clearance, but I always say clearance. That's how I shop. I shop in the clearance section. And so I already do that. And I said, well, you know, I can do this. So while he would go to work, I would be watching other channels, trying to get into the swing of what to do and what's going on. And so we started packing our house. I started packing the house while he was up here working when we moved up here. And so what I did was I purged the house. If something did not get touched, it was still new and packed, never got open. It got put in a box saying eBay inventory basement. So when I got to go to start moving everything, and the movers came in and got everything for us, anything that was marked, we knew it had to be in the basement, because that's where I knew we were going to have my office. And so when we got up here, that's how I started. 1 month after I unpacked and basically put everything in its place, July of the 24th of 2019 is when I started selling on eBay. That was my first listings. I basically just took everything we had in the house, and that's how I started listing. Now, I used to buy storage units, and I also had a large crates full of Barbie dolls, still brand new in its packs, never did anything with it, and it was in crates. So between that and purging the house, I already had an immediate inventory to start with. I didn't have to go buy anything, because everything I did buy from the storage units, that was all profit, because I already made my money before I even got into those. So for me, I already had an inventory, and that's why I tell everybody, look around your house. What do you have that you haven't even touched? Or if it hasn't been open in at least 3 to 6 months. If that's the case, use that to start a business. Use what you have already in your home to resell online if you're going to start an eBay store, or Mercari or Etsy, because I do all of those. Now, once you get started, take that money and invest it back into the business, so you'll have more capital, buy more inventory to continue on your success to how big you want to grow your channel, or I mean on your store, your platform. Then in November 28th of 2019 is when I actually started my first YouTube video. And that was because of someone, I was watching channels, and I was one of those that would go in the chats and not say anything. I was very quiet, just like when you go to church for the first time. Where do you sit? I always sit in the back of the church. I never would sit in the front. And so for me, that's how I did on YouTube when I was watching YouTube. I would never comment in chats. I would just watch the chat and learn and see what I can find out. So once I started getting active, then I started getting active in the chat, started asking questions. And then I started my YouTube channel. That was in the actual live was in February of 2020. And that's when I started the first live. And then when I did the lives, I wanted to make sure that I can teach others what I learned, or until I can learn something. If somebody has a question, I'll research it. That's one thing I will not say. If somebody asks a question, I don't know it. And if I know somebody who will or has that answer, I will direct that person to the person that may have the answer. Because if I don't have it, I'll have to search it myself. And so that's how I became the whole start of my career in YouTube and in eBay and reselling.
Okay. Right, right. So, so Johnny, what advice would you have? I want to pick your brain real quick. What would be like your top 2 or 3 tips, piece of advice? Somebody is because there's a lot of people. I had a guy message me today, and he says, YouTube is way harder than I thought it was be. I'm really struggling to try to get my YouTube channel monetized. What advice would you give this person to help them out with their YouTube channel and growing and scaling their YouTube channel? Because you've had a couple of years of experience now, 2 years at least, and I'm not going to say this is your full time job, but you have a lot of experience with promoting and being on YouTube. So if someone came to you and said, Johnny, I'm really struggling right now with my YouTube channel. I'm not exactly sure what direction I want to take it or how I want to grow and scale my YouTube channel to get monetized. What advice would you have for them to help them out?
Well, first, when I listen to the chat when I'm watching people typing in the chat. They haven't done a video, and the magic word that I love, and everybody knows what that magic word is the word yet. Because I see a lot of people who are interested in getting into YouTube, but they haven't thought about it or haven't done it yet because they're thinking about doing it. But they have that nervousness of not wanting to do it right away because they're going to think they're going to do something wrong. What I always say is just turn the camera on, just do it. Now, the first video, you might want to just introduce yourself, make a short video, let everybody know who you are. What are your plans? Do you plan on? I don't recommend anybody do more than one a week if that's all you can handle. Don't promise somebody more than one a week if that's what all you, or once a month if you want to do once every 2 weeks. Whatever you can do that in your mind you can handle before you keep once you get used to it. The consistency is always what I say. Be consistent. Keep putting out content. Try different things. For example, some people may be good at what's sold videos, where some others may be what I'm sourcing. Or what I'm buying and what I'm researching or what I might be thinking of,
Right.
Whatever you're doing, you want to make sure not only that you're being consistent, but always try to improve. Don't worry about what it might sound like, because I know I go back and watch my old videos. I want to, because I even have all the recordings on a hard drive where I want to see what can I change or what can I do. And the only thing you can do is tweak a little bit of something different every time until you get better at it. It's not going to happen overnight. And like I always say, before you can walk, you got to crawl. Before you can run, you got to walk. And before you can sprint, you still got to run. So there's steps you got to do. But again, always, when I go to watch a video, even if it's somebody for the first time, if you give somebody a negative comment, make sure you follow it with or start with a good comment before a bad one, negative and positive, because that way you can give them both. Because if you attack somebody in a comment saying something negative and you don't follow it with a positive, they may take it the wrong way. So when I find the comments I will always start with a positive first. I said, but maybe like your volume's too low or something in that case. It was a great video, but I couldn't hardly hear you. Something that'll give them a positive, but with a negative, just so you don't hit them with getting them to shut down. Because once somebody shuts down, they're not going to continue. And so that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I totally understand. I remember when I first started making YouTube videos, I'm kind of an introverted person by nature. When I'm not on YouTube, I'm really quiet, introverted person. I'm usually in my room listing items on eBay or, working on YouTube or doing my courier gig. So I'm a really quiet, homebody, introverted type of person. So for the first 6 months, I didn't want to show my face on camera. So I would go and shoot videos about, stuff that I was listing, stuff that I was sourcing, but I just didn't want to show my face on camera. And so I just didn't feel comfortable there. So guys, my biggest 3 tips, a piece of advice I could give you is just be yourself. Don't put too much stress and pressure on yourself. If you can be consistent, I would say try to do like 3 videos a week and just try to collaborate with other content creators like I'm doing now with Johnny. They're usually 9 times out of 10, you reach out to somebody and say, hey man, let's collaborate. Let's shoot a YouTube video together. Usually 9 times out of 10, people are going to say yes, or they're going to say, hey, I'm busy right now. It's a holiday season. Get back to me in a month or so. And just try to, learn from other people. You can watch other content creators and see what's working, what's not working, and then kind of find your own niche and see what you're comfortable with. But yeah, that's what I would.
When I first did my first video, even in my first month, I had everything written down and I have it taped under my camera. That way, when I'm looking at the camera, but I can see what I have to read. But you can tell in the first few videos, you can tell I was reading, which is fine because I was trying to get my eyes to look right into the camera. So I would tape this under my camera just to make sure I'm still looking at the camera, but looking at what I had to say. And there's nothing wrong with that until you get comfortable with the camera. Because now I don't need this.
Right, right. Well, it's just like I said, it's one of those things where you're coming into like for me, because I didn't go to school to be like a video editor. I didn't go to drama school. We didn't go to theater school. So my background was driving a forklift. So when you go from driving a forklift and working in a warehouse, and now you're behind a camera, you're kind of out of your element. So it's going to be okay. You're going to get better at it the more that you do it. I just wanted to give a shout out to a few people in the chat real quick. I wanted to say hey to Jennifer Hayes. We appreciate you. Yeah, and I wanted to say hello to Little Debbie is in the chat, says, hey, Duff and Johnny. Thank you guys for hanging out. I wanted to say hello to Robert, and I wanted to say hey to Maziri's Love Company, says, I love the knowledge and the look. That's my hubby is for. Okay, cool. I'm sometimes I can't always pronounce names correctly. But anyway, so Johnny, what would be like your top 2 or 3 pieces of advice to help somebody grow and scale their eBay business? Because you do pretty well on eBay. I think you said earlier you have 4,000 items in your eBay store. Is that correct?
4,256 items and 1,714 listings.
I know, and you do a lot of retail arbitrage, right? You get stuff on clearance and things. So talk to me a little bit about your strategy with your eBay business, and then tell people maybe your top 2 or 3 tips or piece of advice, because you used to have a business before you became a resale business. So kind of drop some knowledge or some advice that you can give people to help them out with their reselling business.
Okay, for me, when I'm listing, I list every day, no matter if it's 5 pieces. Some days I've listed 90 pieces. It doesn't matter as long as you're listing. You want to list something every day to keep that algorithm going in your channel, in your eBay store, or any platform you sell on. And for me, when I'm sourcing, the first thing I'm going to look at, for example, say this rock. It's a garnet, a blue agate. I'm sorry, agate stone. When you're looking for stuff like this. This is going in my antique booth. I'm not going to put this in a store because I don't have to pay for the shipping. So that's another thing about when you have an antique booth, you can buy things like this and you know you can sell it in your antique booth more than the weight itself is not going to be something you have to worry about shipping. But when you're purchasing anything to sell, try to look it up. Make sure when you're looking up on your phone, you have the Amazon app. If you're Amazon, you got your eBay app. You have different type of programs that you can check on to. When I'm at, like, say, for example, Walmart, I am looking for what sold only. Because you got to remember, when you're looking at the items of what is listed, you can ask whatever you want. They can ask whatever they want. That does not mean that's what they're going to get it for. So don't look at what they have it listed for. Look and see, first of all, how much they're selling for. Now, one thing that I do, if I'm looking at the particular item that I'm looking at to list, if there is 10 items listed, but only 2 sold, I don't care how much the profit margin is. If I can't make more than double my money over the amount that I spent. So if I spend 5, I'm going to make sure I can get at least 20 for it because I'm covering the 5 I spent and then double my money. So if that's the case, then I'll buy it. But if there's only 2 listed, but then you have 10 sold, I'm definitely going to pick it up because that's where your odds are more sold than what's listed. So that's one of the tips I want to say. Make sure you look at what's sold, not what's listed, when it comes to wanting to purchase something or retail arbitrage. Now, if you're shopping and you're doing, and for me, the first thing I do when I go online for either it's wholesale, retail, whatever it may be, first thing I'm going to look at is what's on clearance or what they may call markdown. Because a lot of times you may be able to get it for even under $5. Like I just had a large shipment come in from TJ Maxx. The most I spent on anything was $5, but I got over 74 product pieces to resell. And so you want to look at if you can do it in bulk for a better price, jump on it if you have the funds. But if you don't have the actual capital, don't worry about it. Start with smaller bulk items. If you can do bulks, it's better than buying singles because then you can make a better profit by buying in bulk, much less every single item.
Yeah, for sure. There's plenty of deals out there, whether you're doing retail arbitrage or you're hitting up yard sales or they have Goodwill's bin stores or, I still like going to thrift stores and stuff myself. because I'm not out in the heat, I'm not out in the cold.
Right.
I can get in and out, and I'll be able to scan barcodes and look up sold comps. The other day, I was at a thrift store the other day, and they had this video game for 75 cents sitting there on the shelf, and I looked up what sold on eBay, and it was selling for $40. So it's like there's plenty of margin there, and you just never know. So when you're out and about, I mean, especially like Johnny said, if you're already out and you're already going grocery shopping, you're out running around anyways, might as well take 2 minutes to walk over the clearance section and look around and see what you can find. You never know. Sometimes it'll be a dud, and sometimes you'll come across some good merchandise that you can resell. So Johnny, I didn't tell Johnny this before we went live, but I got to put him on the spot here. I've had all my guests this year. We talk about what are some of your goals that you have this year for 2022. So if you can kind of give us 2 or 3 of your goals of things that you're working towards, whether it's YouTube, whether it's your personal health, whether it's finances, whether it's your resale business, just kind of tell people what are some of your 2 or 3 goals that you have this year for 2022.
My biggest thing is I want to make sure I want to do better this year than I did last year, whether it be sales, all over the board of all the platforms I sell on. My biggest thing is I want to make sure I can help. And my goal every day is to help someone. If I can help one person a day, whether it be to help them in the back room, to answer questions if they have a question, like say on Amazon or eBay or the StreamYard for YouTube, whatever it may be. If I can help one person a day, I have accomplished what I wanted to do for the month, because I'm trying to do that every day. If I can improve every day of helping more than one person, that is my continuing goal. One of the things I wanted to mention too, as far as a tip when doing eBay, for example, don't be afraid to set up your offer. For example, you finding that things are selling and you're buying it because you can make a profit. You want to take and set that price of what you want. Make sure you check off the box that says you can do offers, because if you do offers, you can set it for the highest amount or the lowest amount you would take for that item. But what I do, if I'm doing free shipping on something that's under £1, I'm taking, and I figured this out to be 19% of my asking price. Multiply that price by the 19%, and I will add that into the price to cover the free shipping and the fees. Because that way, if I'm gonna do a free shipping, it's gonna be calculated in my top amount I'm asking for, but I'm also making sure that it's within that time amount that the price I'm asking for the offer to be the lowest that I would take with that 19%.
Yeah, you can do that. The issue that I keep having is the post office wants to keep raising their shipping rates like every 6 months or every year. And so I don't offer free shipping. I just have the customer pay shipping. But I mean, if I'm shipping an item like this, it's media mail shipping that's posted as like $3.19. But what I was going to say is when I have more best offer on, I get irritated dealing with low ball offers every day. Once your store gets 4, 5, 6,000 items, you don't want to get low ball offers all day. So I've have mine set up. So let's say hypothetically I paid 50 cents for this item and I had it listed on eBay for $20. Anything that's less than 18, I would just auto decline it, because if you're sending me an offer of $5 plus shipping, $8, $10 plus shipping, you're not serious. If you send me a message that says, hey, I'm interested at 16, 17, $18, and I'm asking 20, then I have something to work with. Usually, like I said, if my cost of goods is 50 cents and I have a listed for $20 and someone sends you an offer of 18, you can do that. But like Johnny said, you can go in the system before you publish it and tell the computer. And like, to me, I'll tell the computer algorithm says, if I can't get at least an offer of $18, I'm just going to auto decline it, because it's not. I think about what is my time worth? How long is it going to take me? I had to find the item, photograph it, post it, ship it, pack it, pull it, list it, all this stuff. And you want to send me an offer of $7, plus shipping or something. It's just not worth my time.
No.
So you have to be able to kind of do that. Give yourself like a little, give yourself a little bit of leeway. Give yourself where you're going to make profit, because I think when you're working for yourself and you're transitioning from knowing you have a guaranteed paycheck every week and now you're kind of working for yourself, you don't value your time enough, and you don't think about, man, how much time did I spend, listing items, to taking photos and shipping and all of that. So anyways, I told Johnny we're going to try to keep him on between a half hour to 45 minutes. So I wanted to tell Johnny, tell everybody a little bit about what you do on your YouTube channel. I know you recently started it back up in the past week. I have all the links to Johnny's channel down below. Return of Kajun Roots Reseller on YouTube and Instagram. but tell them a little bit about what you do on your channel, because I'm sleeping during the morning, so usually 9 times out of 10 I don't get to catch it live. But Johnny does have a big community of people that he interacts with every day. So tell them a little bit about what you do on your YouTube channel, Johnny.
Okay, for those who may come back and rewatch the video, I still have under the Kajun Roots Reseller live show had been terminated. The reason I'm telling this is because a lot of people don't realize that when you're highlighting comments and somebody may have a avatar that you should not be showing. That happened on me on Friday a week ago yesterday. And so what I did was I did cool down when all that happened. I waited till the following morning, which was a week ago today, and I started the new channel, Return of Kajun Roots Reseller. And what I did was I did post a video on what happened. That video is over 800, almost 900 views already. I already have over 1,200 watch hours on that one video and all my shows for the week. Every morning on Monday through Friday, I do at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Coffee with Cajun, collaborating and networking with others. I've been doing that since February of 2020, and I've never stopped. What my goal is every day is to help someone, no matter if it's with their YouTube channel, their eBay store. Somebody may have a question about StreamYard. We have topics every day about something different, whether it's shipping, invoicing, whatever the case may be. We do, I pick the comments or topics from either somebody sending me a message, letting me know what they want to hear about, whether it's in the chat saying, what about this, what about that? And that's how the topics arrive in my morning show. And that's Monday through Friday, and it goes from 8:30 to whenever. And then again on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Monday is Fun Night Bingo Night, where it's free to play. You win prizes every game. You can win multiple games because we've had many people win more than once. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Hump Day auction, where I have my 4 guests. I have 4 co-hosts and 1 guest every Wednesday. And then every other Friday, we just had one yesterday, so it's been 2 weeks. The 4th and 2 more in February, where we do every other week, and it's going to be the TGIF Buy It Now Sell auction, where all those on that day are guests. If it's somebody who's first time that wants to try and get their feet wet on how to do the auctions, they come on and I'll walk them through it and help them out on their first few times. I've had some people come back. Some people even started their own channel with their own auctions. And I love helping those that I can that want to learn, especially when it comes to things like that. And I try to be as organized, show them how organized I am, that hopefully that'll rub off on them to be able to do the same thing when they do auctions. And that is my full week schedule.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, guys, before we let you go, I just wanted to say, man, it's important that you guys support each other in the community. So, when I heard about Johnny's channel getting shut down and terminated, I'm sure he had 100 people reaching out to him, but I was one of the people that was reaching out. I reach out to Johnny all the time. Sometimes I message him and just say, hey, Johnny, how are you doing? How is your day going? How are things going? So, but it's just important you guys support each other. So, Johnny, do you have any final thoughts or words of wisdom you can leave our audience with?
When you subscribe to someone in a chat, no matter if it's somebody dropping a link or you go to the 3 dots in a chat, when you go to someone's channel, please make sure you check to see if that word subscribe is red. If it is, you're not subscribed. Change it to gray. Hit the notifications of all before you hit one of their videos, because the most important thing is go watch a video. Let them know where you found them, whatever chat you may have been in, and give them a comment. Give them a thumbs up. Let them know how you found them. And that hopefully will help you grow your channel and grow those who you are watching in their channels, as their subscribers help them grow as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, leaving comments is one of those things that people I don't think do enough of. You'll see me leaving a trail of comments all over the internet. So for sure, if you guys leave comments and support each other, all the links to Johnny's channel for YouTube and Instagram are going to be down below. So go by and check them out. Go support him. Go subscribe to his channel, and at least go watch a couple of his videos and say, hey, I saw you on eBay Addicts channel. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. All the links are going to be listed down below. Tomorrow on Sunday, I have a returning guest. The eBay Hustler is going to be here all the way from Utah. So he, about a year ago, he quit his full-time job, and he's now a full-time eBay reseller. So I haven't had him on in about a year, and he reached out to me on Instagram and says, hey, I would like to come back on. So he's going to be on tomorrow on Sunday around 5 o'clock. So it's always a good time catching up with him. So if you guys are free and you want to come hang out with the eBay Hustler ask him questions, pick his brain. I will see you guys tomorrow on Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Awesome.
Till then, you guys have a great weekend, and go follow our guest. Return of Kajun Roots Reseller.
That's
Return.
right.
All right, guys. You all have a great weekend. We'll catch you guys in the next video.
Later.
Bye, everybody.